Hello and welcome back to our journey through the true history of general aviation. We've already explored fascinating stories of early flight attempts like tower jumping adventures, the visionary moments during the Renaissance, and even witnessed the era of manned flight. Today, get ready for something truly incredible as we unravel another groundbreaking inventions that lifted humanity into the air. And guys, without any further ado, let's dive into the wonders that took humanity to new heights. The dawn of modern aviation unfolded on November 21st, 1783 with the inaugural untethered flight of a hot air balloon crafted by the pioneering Montgolfier brothers. And guys, you can also call it a free flight balloon crafted by the brothers. And we've already talked about the Montgolfier brothers in the previous episode, so I highly recommend checking it out. However, the practicality of balloons was hindered in their inability to navigate against the wind. This means that the balloons could only drift with the wind. Hence, the urgent need for a maneuverable steerable balloon, commonly known as a dirigible, became apparent. A French engineer named Henry Giffard achieved a significant milestone with the development of the steam-powered airship, commonly referred to as a dirigible in France. The Giffard dirigible was powered by hydrogen, chosen for its high lifting capacity and accessibility. It featured a 3 horsepower steam engine and a massive propeller, marking a notable advancement in airship technology. So the airship used hydrogen, which provided lift to the aircraft, and the steam engine was used as a propulsion system to drive the aircraft. I guess this man built upon Ascent's pioneering work in making a steam engine as a propulsion system, leading to the creation of the first steerable machine known as the dirigible. And I talked about Ascent in the previous episode, who also propelled a mechanical flying device in the form of a bird using steam. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching that episode. So we move on to the Giffard dirigible launch. Throughout the 19th century, efforts to develop a steerable powered balloon persisted. The milestone of achieving powered, controlled, and sustained lighter-than-air flight is attributed to Henry Giffard in 1852. Giffard flew approximately 15 miles, that's 24 kilometers in France, using his craft powered by a steam engine on a journey from Paris to Elancourt. This significant achievement marked a leap forward in the development of dirigible technology. In 1844, a significant breakthrough occurred with the first fully controllable free flight of the French Army's electric-powered airship La France, led by Charles Renard and Otto Krebs. This pioneering airship, also known as a dirigible, utilized an innovative electric motor for propulsion, measuring 170 feet, that's 52 meters long, and boasting a capacity of 66,000 cubic feet. La France completed an impressive journey, covering 8 kilometers in just 23 minutes, powered by an 8.5 horsepower electric motor. It's worth noting that La France Dirigible was notable for accomplishing the first successful round-trip flight. And guys, I guess this is where the concept of the modern-day drones might have sprouted. However, these aircraft were not very durable and didn't last long in the air. Also, they were quite fragile, meaning that they could easily break or be damaged. The ability to have regular controlled flight only became possible with the invention and use of internal combustion engine. This engine provided more reliable and sustained power, aligned for safer and more consistent flight. The solution to this challenge emerged with the introduction of non-rigid airships known as blimps. These were the pioneering aircraft that achieved regular and controlled flight, allowing pilots to effectively manage the airship's movement. Unlike earlier models, blimps utilized non-flammable lifting gases like helium, which maintained their shape through gas pressure, ensuring safer and more reliable operations. The most successful early pioneering pilot of this type of aircraft was the Brazilian Alberto Santos-Dumont, who effectively combined a balloon with an internal combustion engine. The craft was powered by a balloon, and a 12 horsepower internal combustion engine which drove the airship's propeller. So I guess that this airship utilized a lifting gas like helium to lift the aircraft and also to maintain the aircraft shape, and then an engine as its propulsion system, just like Giffard's airship. On October 19, 1901 at 2:30 p.m., he flew his airships, named the Airship number 6, over Paris from the Parc de Saint-Cloud around the Eiffel Tower and back in under 30 minutes to win the Dutch de la Marche prize, though he had an engine failure. So guys, how this happened was that Henry in April 1900 offered the Dutch de la Marche prize, simply known as the Dutch prize, of 100,000 francs to the first machine capable of flying a round trip from the Parc de Saint-Cloud to the Eiffel Tower in Paris and back in less than 30 minutes with an average ground speed of at least 22 kilometers per hour. To win the prize, Santos-Dumont built the number 5 airship. On August 8, 1901, during one of his attempts, it lost hydrogen, descended and got stuck in the Trocadero hotel roof. Santos, hanging in a basket, was rescued by the Paris Fire Brigade without injury. And after this incident, he then launched the number 6 after several trials. And the interesting thing here is that after Santos-Dumont was awarded the prize in a charitable gesture, he gave half of the prize to his crew and then donated the other half to the poor of Paris. Wow. Following this success, Albert Santos-Dumont continued to improve upon his existing dirigible model with many of his subsequent airships, and later on, Albert Santos-Dumont invented the Santos-Dumont No. 20 Demoiselle airship, which was a breakthrough in ultralight aircraft development. So guys, we move on to the era of rigid airships. As non-rigid airships gained success, the rigid airships made its mark in the early 20th century. Unlike non-rigid airships relying on lifting gas pressures to maintain their shape, rigid airships used an internal framework for support. So I guess that it was this innovative approach that paved the way for modern aircraft designs, inspiring features like internal structures in plane. The first successful rigid airship was a Zeppelin, which was named after its inventor, Ferdinand von Zeppelin. As a military observer in the American Civil War era, Ferdinand von Zeppelin was fascinated with the potential power that aircraft would wield in the 20th century warfare. In designing his own airship, Zeppelin focused on increasing cargo carrying capacity, which would be key for mounting military-grade weapons on top of airships. These rigid airships offer superior cargo capacity compared to early fixed-wing aircraft, despite the ongoing development of the latter. So guys, I guess that there was an overlap in the development of fixed-wing aircraft and rigid airships. Regardless, fixed-wing aircraft still predates rigid airships. An example is that the Wright Flyer built and tested a series of kites and gliders designs from 1898 to 1902 before attempting to build a powered design, and then launched their first full-size glider in 1900, which was also the time when the first successful Zeppelin was launched, and guys will see to that. So regardless, fixed-wing aircraft still predates airship according to their historical timelines. Construction of the first Zeppelin airship commenced in 1899 in Germany. This prototype, known as LZ-1, which stands for Luftschiff Zeppelin, boasted a length of 128 meters and was propelled by two 10.6 kilowatt Daimler engines, which produced 14.2 horsepower, and to ensure stability during its flight, a weight was adjusted between its two nacelles. Its first flight on July 2, 1900 lasted for only 18 minutes as LZ-1 was forced to land on the lake after the winding mechanism for the balancing weight had broken. Despite this setback, subsequent flights showcased the technology's potential, surpassing the speed achieved by the French airship La France by 3 meters per second. That's the speed of the technology achieved a speed that is 3 meters per second faster than the 6 meters per second speed previously attained by the French airship La France. However, initial attempts failed to attract investors, delaying further development of the Zeppelin airship. Despite the initial failures of the LZ-1 and LZ-2 aircraft model, the LZ-3 aircraft model managed to successfully maintain a 2-hour and 17-minute flight on October 9, 1906. And it's worth noting that even though airships were used in both World War I and World War II and continue on a limited basis to this day, their development has been largely overshadowed by heavier than aircraft, which will be our topic in the next episode. And lastly, in today's video, airship travel also took a dramatic turn in May 1937 when the world's largest passenger Zeppelin LZ-129 Hindenburg exploded while landing in New Jersey, killing 13 passengers, 22 crew members, and 1 person on the ground. And the devastating crash was caught on camera by television crews, and along with a string of other airship fires, the Hindenburg disaster was largely responsible for ending private flights on passenger airships. So before we end this episode, I would like to talk to you about the power of perseverance. Aviation teaches us the power of perseverance. Despite facing numerous obstacles and setbacks, aviators throughout history have continued to push the boundaries of what is possible, inspiring us to never give up on our dreams and aspirations. Whether it's conquering the skies or achieving personal goals, the journey of flight reminds us that with determination and resilience, anything is possible. Thank you, sky lovers, once again for your time, and see you in the next episode where we'll explore other advancements in aviation. This time, we'll look into the real deal known as the heavier than aircraft, where forces of flight were studied to create a groundbreaking innovation. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section, because your contribution keeps the adventure alive. Thank you, and see you soon.